All right, I don't even know if you can see me, but we're getting started. It's about 6:45, maybe almost 7 a.m. here in North Carolina. We'll head out for hopefully 15. Yeah, it's early, it's kind of dark. I picked a clearing to kind of open up the video here, but we're gonna get going and we're gonna see how this goes. Nathan hydration vest, pretty much all the same stuff. Peg 38 still. This will be the longest I've gone in those. So let's get into it. Let's see how this goes. All right, that's my intro. Welcome. I don't know if you can see me at all. .56 miles, 52 minutes, 49 seconds total. Going about 11:20s right now. Cool with that. Not trying to break any speed records. Eventually I'd like to do the marathon in about 10:45, 10:50s. So if I do training runs just over 11, cool with that. One thing I will say, I'm just starting to see the sun. We're almost, 4.5 miles in. What a benefit of me getting up a little bit earlier. And I kind of feel like my run just started because the sun just hit me. So it was like everything I did before it was a head start. Mental tricks of the game. All right, that's it. Feeling okay, just took a gel. See you in a bit. Whew. Always do that. 7.07, just had a check-in before this. Right at that lip, right before the bridge. I just ate. Still just happened about 15 seconds ago, maybe 25, 30 seconds ago, right before I turned on the GoPro. Make sure I didn't break it. Yeah, I still feel okay, cardio-wise. Sucks eating it. My elbows and my hands hurt. So thought I'd turn this into a check-in while I sat here and just kind of waited to see if anything really hurt. I think I'm fine. Keep going. Did a good tumble. Tuck and roll, right? Tuck and roll. No fun. Still feeling okay though. It would suck to really hurt yourself this far from your car. Part of the thrill. Alright. Guess I should keep running. Cool. All right, we are 11.77 in. Currently walking at a 17-minute pace, 2 hours and 26 minutes. I just did kind of like a full stretch. I took a break, had a gel about a half mile ago. Just kind of power walking now for another minute or so. And then we're gonna try to battle this out for 15 miles. Feel pretty good. My quad's a little bit tight, but I feel way better than when I was doing the 13-miler 2 weeks ago, so. Productive. Again, it's cooler. I got out earlier, so that's all good stuff. But yeah, did some stretching into the final leg, final third, and yeah, let's get this done and then we can recap when we get back. We're doing it. Recovered from the fall, I'll tell you that much. Feeling pretty good, I guess. All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back in the apartment. It's actually been 6 days since I completed that 15 miler. Basically, the work week itself just got away from me a bit, but I am going to talk a little bit about the run, a little bit about my training. We'll take a look at cadence, some of the stats, and then just ultimately how much time we have left until November 7th, New York City Marathon, and how we are going to survive that. Nothing too wild. I'll just tell you, what I'm focusing on and what I think I'm really making sure I still do in my training while not having the appropriate amount of time to prepare for a marathon. Okay, so in total, we did 15 miles with 11:09 average mile pace. We'll talk about that mainly. 2 hours, 47 minutes and 20 seconds total time, 164 elevation gain, not too much. Average heart rate, 154. If you want to take that seriously from my old school Garmin watch, but mainly we can talk about that 11:09 for 15 miles. That's honestly pretty great for me. My goal pace, what I told the New York City Marathon that I would be starting, like the wave that I start with is the 10:45 wave per mile. So ultimately we're looking at about 4:45 to 5 hour marathon. That's a long time. It's a lot slower than I thought I'd be running a marathon now, but that's just kind of where we ended up. But being able to do, honestly, these training runs at 11:09 or about that 11-minute average pace is honestly huge for me. A couple months ago, I couldn't run 3 or 4 miles. So this is it's huge progress for me, and pat me on the back for that one, I guess. One other thing I guess I'll mention here is that I have been putting a lot of emphasis on cadence. I've been trying to push my cadence a little bit higher lately, just because, I started running that book, Chi Running. I read 5 books at a time. So I'm uber inefficient when it comes to just completing these books. But I've only got about 40, 50 pages left in this one. And ultimately, it talks about efficiency and running in a way that will just makes you less injury prone. And obviously, having a slightly higher cadence, ideally in that 170 to 180, depending on, a couple of variables will change that, your height, the speed, and ultimately, if you're racing, it might be closer to 180. If you're doing a longer training run, it's probably gonna be closer to 170. If you're a little bit taller, take that all down a little bit. So for this one, my average according to Strava was 157 steps per minute. Pretty darn low, but being that my average in general steps per minute, my average cadence was always about mid 150s. So that, me trying to transition to this 170 plus cadence routine is just gonna take some time. I'm gonna keep practicing with the metronome. It's been a week, so you can go and take a look at my Strava. One of my workouts this week, I did a 3 miler where the first half mile I did about 180 steps per minute while using a metronome at 90 beats per minute, so 2 steps for every beat. And then for the middle part of the run, the majority of the run, I was doing 85 BPM, so 170 steps per minute for the majority of the 3 miler. And my average cadence ended up being about 172. So it basically, when I am focused on it and using the metronome, I can do it, but it's just about doing that a couple times a week, teaching my body to just get comfortable, relearn that muscle memory of what is kind of, what's a good pace, what's a good turnover. And ultimately it's just so I can run a little bit more injury free. Yeah. Okay, so now, and just to wrap up this whole thing and this training that I'm trying to complete before New York City, I will just say that this is not the way. If you have the time to train for a marathon, I'm only getting 20 to 30 miles per week. I am not getting appropriate mileage during the week when considering the distance of my long runs, but that kind of ties into the way I am. That's deliberate. Basically, I'm considering the long run as really important and one of those most important workouts that you just can't skip if you're gonna end up, if you're signed up for a marathon, you just can't skip your long run. You can do whatever you can miss some of your speed work. A lot of training plans, if you're new to marathon training, won't even include speed training. It'll just be about building up that mileage and and the strength to, you know, endure for that long. And that's pretty much all I'm doing when it comes to preparing for New York City. I've got 5 weeks after this 15 miler to prepare for a 26.2. And being that I'm at a 15-mile long run, it's way ahead of honestly where I thought I was going to be, because I couldn't really even run like, you know, 6 weeks ago. But you know, that leaves me 3 more long runs, a 2-week taper, and hopefully a pretty decent day when it comes to November 7th in New York City. Long story short, my training is focused on making sure I'm still getting in that 1 workout a week. It's over 2 hours. From now on, it'll be over 3 hours, and just getting comfortable suffering for that amount of time. Okay, so ultimately that is gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing me out there. You know, I ate crap about 7 miles in. You can go ahead and follow me on TikTok. It's the same, I think, as my Instagram. It's the Kyle_McCue_running. Just made a TikTok. It's basically me running and singing songs. That's what TikTok is, right? So yeah, go follow me on TikTok. Obviously follow me on Strava for getting all the info on all my runs. Ooh, I hit the mic, that always happens. Yeah, follow me on Strava, follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter if you want, but honestly, if you like, I'm only gonna interact like basically there if I have something that's already been shared someplace else. So if you want, I guess I need to up that game. And how's this shot looking? I think it's looking pretty good. I spent quite a bit of time. I finally had the new light set up. We've got good audio. We've got a little bit of blue glow back there. So yeah, running YouTubers of the world, let me know how this looks. Yeah, that's the whole shebang. Like, comment, subscribe. Tomorrow morning, I'm headed out for a 17 miler, and we have had flood warnings for the last 2 days. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm bringing the camera, that's for sure. That's it. Ending this one, too long. I started playing Minecraft. I'm already planning for my post New York City Minecraft, you know, deep, long sessions. I've been thinking the first thing, obviously when it comes to Minecraft, you just have to set up shop and, you know, create some sort of a home base. But from there, I think my main goal is to make a soccer stadium. Yeah, I'm gonna build a soccer stadium.